kuzaa tu kama watoto hawa wengine, lakini niliona mark hapa. Nikaanza kuona hii mtoto yangu si kama watoto wale wengine. Badala aanguke akae chini, mtoto yangu anaanguka mbele. Akaanza kutoka mkojo, anajikojolea. Nikaanza tena matibabu.
Kukinyesha, mama ananishikilia, nashika hii mti, najikaza pole pole.
The men and women in boats, they are commanded to defend and protect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Republic of Kenya. Their bravery knows no limits.
Make a man go through the wall without breaking the wall.
Laziness, it is not in our vocabulary.
But what are their stories, their tales? Military Tales, every Saturday at 9 p.m. with Ben Troy Joe.
Accident option ilikuwa usiku. Nikitoka hiyo job.
Nikapata now a major accident can affect spinal cord. This is a new thing, utapata kuna some few things mlikuwa mnafanya pamoja but now you can't.
Anasema ni msalaba yangu nilijingiza. Sitajitoa. Nasema tu ni baba ya watoto. You happy from the bottom of my heart is true. Yeah, I want to know what makes it right.
Kazi ya kupika, kuosha vyombo, na unaona ile nyumba ile nataka ingalishwe.
Lakini hii vita si between me na wewe.
Pale kwa gitu nimeona notice.
Ukae bumper na fadhako.
Niko busy sahi mom, but we'll talk baadaye.
Ati Jabu,
You had some company or Alex is in?
No, actually your dad was around.
Bona? Nini uniambi? First uniulize kuhusu dad na hii place. Ama bit dad anaweza kuwa.
You should say thanks to Alex for bringing back your phone from black markets.
Black market.
Could have given me a heads up, at least nikuwe ready.
I think you're trying too hard to impress Pete.
You are fit, big, you have beards, and you know.
We don't know this girl at all.
Welcome. It's the 7th day of the 6th month of the year 2025. And you're just in time for the Legends Edition, coming to you live from Broadcasting House, Nairobi, Kenya. My name is Edmund Mudibo. And top in this bulletin, the dangerous gold mines of Tarkwell. 4 killed and several others injured after a gold mine collapsed in Tarkwell, West Pokot County. Standoff over housing levy. KOTU and government on loggerheads over the use of affordable housing monies to fund supporting amenities.
Nani alisema si lazima mtu afanye tamu 20? Nani alisema hivyo? Kiongozi ukipatiwa hata kuongoza siku moja, fanyia wananchi kazi. Hiyo mambo ingine wachia Mungu.
And government empowerment programs debate. Deputy President Kindi Kithure dismisses its critics as naysayers. Opposition leaders, on the other hand, say the program is meant to hoodwink voters. Asante sana for making us your choice this evening. Our sign language interpreter is Lucy Maura. 4 people have died and several others injured after a gold mine collapsed in Tarkwel, West Pokot County in the wee hours of Saturday morning. West Pokot County Police Commander Abdullahi Jire Mohammed, confirming the tragedy, says the mine has been shut indefinitely as investigations to ascertain the circumstances around the 3 a.m. tragic incident commence. This comes barely 48 hours after residents protested the closure of the mines and concerns by local leaders on the environmental impact and safety of the miners. Ben Chumba reports.
The tragic turn of events unfolded Saturday at a gold mine in Tarkwel, West Pokot County, when the structure collapsed, leaving its wake a trail of death and destruction. 9 people were at the site of the incident, among them 8 men and 1 woman.
Watu 9 kama hii ya leo, nani tasaa watoto kama hiyo kwa siku moja? Kwa hivyo ile kitu mimi nasema serikali mkae chini, mfukuze hii vitu.
Watu hilo ndio sasa nasema watu ya Kreda, watu imetoka, watu sini kwenda kuchimbia. Kupotea kesho. Sasa hiyo nyumba sasa naangusha watu.
The collapse of the mine in the wee hours of the morning will result in a joint rescue effort by the National Police Service, the Kenya Red Cross and the Kenya Defence Forces. 5 survivors were pulled out from the rubble and rushed to Tarkwel Health Center for immediate treatment.
Ile nikaomba tu hao kwamba tuheshimu ile mkataba nyinyi mliweka na hiyo investor. Kama mliagree kwamba ni mchana ndio anachimba, usiku inyamaze mpaka kesho tuende namna hiyo. Sababu achawanyima mchotewe mchanga huko nje ili nyinyi mujinufaike pia kwa mahitaji yenu.
They were later transferred to Kapenguria County Referral Hospital for specialized care. The bodies of the 4 others who passed away were taken to Kapenguria Hospital mortuary.
Na tuwesema kwamba haisaidie watu. Hii mining inasaidia hii watu kama livelihood, kama mapato ya households, but kwa nyingine sio mzuri kwa sababu imeua watu wengi sana.
West Pokot County Police Commander Abdullahi Jire Mohammed says investigations have been launched to ascertain what transpired.
First, to understand hiyo area, treat that area as a scene of crime, to give also time for investigation so that we can get to the bottom of the issue. We believe they will adhere to the directives. The unfortunate thing is, wananchi wenyewe ndio wanatafuta.
This comes as concerns remain over the safety of those working at the mining sites. Local leaders have been divided on the future of these artisanal mines, with some pushing for their closure. Ben Chumba, Legends Edition.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has dismissed critics of the ongoing government empowerment programs, terming their utterances as empty politics. Speaking in Masinga, Machakos County, during an empowerment drive, Kindiki faulted those opposing the ongoing empowerment programs, maintaining the government will not relent in transforming the lives of Kenyans.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki was in Masinga constituency in Machakos County for an empowerment event targeting women and youth groups. It is here that he strongly defended government's grassroots initiatives, which has been subject of ridicule by government critics.
Kwani sasa ni wakati wa kampeni? Naona watu wanatembea huko wamejaa kiburi, wanatangaza sijui nani atakuwa rais, nani hatakuwa rais, nani atafanya zitamu gani. Mimi nacheka tu naangalia nasema sasa hii ni nini? Kuna mtu anajua mambo ya 2027? Si viongozi jamani wafanye kazi ile iko sahihi.
The deputy president and leaders accompanying him faulted government critics for holding on to what they say is retrogressive politics.
Mambo ya bure ya kuzunguka hapa na kutishatisha watu. Wengine hatujui tutakuwa hapa ama tutakuwa hapa. Mambo ya huko tutanyoroshana siku hiyo ikifika kama tutakuwa area.
Sasa yeye ndio mbingwa ya kuongea na kuropokwa na maneno baada ya kumaliza miaka 2.5 bila kufanya chochote katika region yetu ya Ukambani.
Kindiki reaffirmed government's commitment to uplifting Kenyans, assuring the region of development regardless of political affiliation. On the cost of living, the DP said the government has made progress and remains focused on further reducing the cost of living despite the challenges.
Ile maneno inahitajika kazi kubwa na kazi ngumu. Sio kazi ya watu wavivu, watu ovyo, watu ya ukabila hapo na watu wa kulalalala na kungojea wasifiwe wapigwe makofi ati kwa sababu ni watu ya kubwa. Hii inataka bidii.
Separately, Labour Cabinet Secretary Alfred Mutua was in Machakos County for a leadership forum ahead of President William Ruto's visit to the region. Mutua urged the opposition leaders in Machakos County to join the government. This as he took a swipe at Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, faulting him for steering the region to the opposition at the expense of development.
Unajua nasikia watu wengine wanalamu Kalonzo Musyoka nini maendeleo. Yeye ajui maendeleo. Unajua kuna watu wajui maendeleo. Ni kama kuna watu wengine wajui kutumia pesa, kumtumia pesa anaharibu. Kuna wengine kupatia uongozi wanaharibu. Hawajui maendeleo. Kwa hivyo sasa sisi tunataka nini? Maendeleo. Kwa hiyo nawaambia tafadhali tuende tuambie watu kwa kina, pole. Tunataka William Ruto akija hapa, ile ndogo ametuletea. Akiwa hapa nataka kusikia akipiga simu kule State House iongezwe kwa ile mapenzi ameona kwa watu wa Kamba.
For Legends Edition, I'm Gladys Mungai.
Meanwhile, opposition leaders now say they are more united than ever and will march together to the 2027 general election. Speaking during the Meet the People tour in Voi, Taita Taveta County, the leaders dismissed allegations of cracks in the opposition by a section of Kenya Kwanza Brigade, terming them baseless. The leaders called on Kenyans to register in large numbers in preparation for the 2027 elections.
The opposition leaders were on the Meet People tour along the Mombasa Road. The team led by Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka and his Democracy for the Citizens Party DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua pitched camp at Voi in Taita Taveta County. Here, the leaders promised a landslide win in the 2027 general election.
Chama cha Wiper tumepindua jina. Tunaita Wiper Patriotic Front ili kuheshimu vijana Gen Z. Watu viongozi wanawapa mamlaka alafu wanaenda kuwaonyesha vile wako matajiri na wao hawana chochote. Wao natafuta angalau kuweka chakula juu ya meza.
The time for the cousins to come together is now. Sindio?
They faulted the Kenya Kwanza government of negating on pre-election promises. The team called on Kenyans to register in large numbers as voters ahead of the 2027 elections. Elsewhere, Mumias East Member of Parliament Peter Salasia has received an arousing welcome at his home county of Kakamega after completion of his nationwide Meet the People tour. Salasia, who has declared his presidential ambition in the 2027 general election, say the Mulembe nation has to be represented in one way or the other on the presidential ballot.
Na sihitaji those big names because I have the agenda. Siwahitaji. Wao watajipange katika makabila zao, lakini mimi nitatembea na tutaunda serikali ya 2027.
A war of words is brewing between the Central Organization of Trade Union and the State Department of Housing over contentions contentious provisions in the Affordable Housing Regulations of 2024. KOTU is accusing the State Department of Housing of drafting regulations that could divert billions of shillings in workers' contributions to other development projects without proper consultations. And in a quick rejoinder, Housing Principal Secretary Charles Hinga has dismissed the claims of lack of consultation, saying KOTU is represented in the Affordable Housing Board that drafted the regulations. This as he defended the inclusion of social and physical infrastructure as an integrated approach and not a plan to misuse the housing levy.
The government has dismissed claims by the Central Organization of Trade Unions that billions of shillings from the Affordable Housing Levy will be misused through inclusion of associated social and physical infrastructure. In a statement, Housing PS Charles Hinga says the integrated approach is central to the Act's vision of creating dignified, livable communities, adding that modern housing is more than shelter. It requires access to schools, health facilities, markets, open spaces and other social amenities that support everyday life. This comes following a statement by KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli, who has expressed reservations, citing regulations were drafted without proper consultation and could be used as a loophole to divert workers' funds to other development projects to the detriment of the workers. Hinga, however, says KOTU was part of the team that drafted the regulations, as the Act guarantees them representation on the Affordable Housing Board. Atwoli is now calling on the President to intervene to ensure workers' funds are not diverted, even as Hinga maintains they remain open to dialogue and collaboration with all stakeholders to safeguard the integrity of the program. Tilio Marco for Legends Edition.
The curtain closed Saturday on the public participation exercise on the Finance Bill 2025 with the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning meeting with government agencies. The meeting focused on areas of concern by the various agencies ahead of the budget reading next week. Nancy Okware has the details.
The Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning concluded the public participation exercise in Mombasa, meeting various government agencies and principal secretaries to dissect the Finance Bill 2025 and the implications therein on the various sectors. Tourism Principal Secretary John Ololtua, who appeared before the Kuria Kimani-led committee, sought to have all existing VAT exemptions applicable to the tourism sector retained.
The government requires every cent that we can get. So if we go into too many exemptions, I think we'll be losing the much needed revenue that the country requires for development.
And in the context of vehicles, I'm against them because the exemptions in terms of the provisions relating to these vehicles is not even enforceable. How do we know when a vehicle is being exclusively used for tourism purposes?
You have to get a tourism license, a license from the Tourism Regulatory Authority. So we for all those that have been able to be assessed and regulated by the TRA, you can only get this exception if you have a tourism license, and there's a way the Tourism Regulatory Authority liaison with the Tourism Police Unit and all the agencies, they are able to exclusively know that this is a tourism vehicle and the purposes that are being used are for tourism.
The committee also met officials from the Kenya Revenue Authority and the Agriculture Principal Secretary.
Wananchi wako tayari sana kusoma na kuelewa jinsi hizi policies zipo na vile zinakuwa na impact kwa maisha yao. Kwa hivyo kunafaa kuwa na more engagement hasa before even the publishing of the bill.
The committee has already held public participation sessions in 10 counties and will now retreat to write its report that will be tabled in Parliament. Nancy Okware, Legends Edition.
The Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, KICD, has given the nod for the introduction of climate change and environment conservation as a practical subject in schools. This now sets the stage for grade 3 to grade 12 learners to learn about climate change solutions in the wake of the rising threat of climate change. Our reporter, Opicho Chemtai, has the details.
The National Museums of Kenya. Learners from various schools across the country congregated to receive awards after participating in the inaugural pilot program of the Climate Innovation Challenge.
I love talking about climate change because I feel like if climate change continues to be this bad, then there's no life for humanity. Because how will I live in a place where there's no rain, and if there's rain it's too much?
What we are trying to implement right now is exactly what we do in class. So we are just, I would say, being experiential in the ways of understanding the concept around climate change.
Speaking during the award ceremony, Kavu Africa Director Terry Waria emphasized the need to incorporate the younger generation from an early age into understanding the dynamics around climate change and possible solutions.
It's very difficult to teach an old man or an old woman new tricks. So right now, if you tell somebody who is driving on Thika Highway, who is throwing trash from an SUV or a V8 or a Prado or a Mercedes, they'll think you're abusing them.
We felt that if we could empower children to understand the root cause of climate change and then give them tools to make those changes in their communities to prevent climate impacts, that they would be hopeful.
The announcement by KICD of the introduction of climate change learning in schools was hailed as a step towards addressing climate change.
It's a supplementary material that's been authorized and have been approved to be taught in all the schools in Kenya. And it's also in the Orange Book. So we're very happy that it has been done. The only prayer we have is that the government of Kenya should at least buy 93,000 copies so that each school in Kenya has one hard copy in the library.
This comes amid calls to collaborate in tackling impacts of climate change, which is affecting all nations regardless of geographical location.
If these small kids can actually come up with a solution to this problem, then it's a challenge to us as adults, to also do something about it.
So far, over 35,000 learners have benefited from the program in 14 countries across the world. Opicho Chemtai for Legends Edition.
Gender, Culture and Arts and Heritage Cabinet Secretary Hannah Wendot Cheptumo has praised the enduring cultural bond between Kenya and China as both nations celebrate 40 years of acrobatic exchanges and launch a new season of cultural cooperation. Speaking in Nairobi during the opening of the first ever China-Kenya Culture and Tourism season, Cheptumo hailed the moment as a milestone born of trust, respect and mutual benefits.
The 2025 China-Kenya Culture and Tourism season kicked off with a dazzling display of cultural performance, celebrating a journey of friendship that spans centuries. Held in Nairobi, the event marked 40 years of Kenya-China cultural exchange through acrobatics and launched a bold new chapter of people-to-people diplomacy.
Indeed, culture and tourism are intertwined, as cultural sites and festivals are major tourism attractions all over the world. Kenya and China enjoy cordial and fraternal relations based on mutual trust and mutual benefit.
Gender, Culture, the Arts and Heritage Cabinet Secretary Hannah Wendot Cheptumo highlighted the growing collaboration between the two nations in areas such as media, heritage, education and the creative economy.
China has provided scholarships to thousands of Kenyan students, granting them higher education opportunities in China. This investment in human capital is crucial for Kenya's development, as these students return with valuable skills and knowledge.
China's ambassador to Kenya, Guo Haiyan, echoed similar sentiments, calling cultural exchange a central pillar in the shared vision for a stronger future between the two countries.
We're not only opening the culture and the tourism season, actually we're also in commemorating 40 years of cooperation in acrobatics. I think that is also a very unique window for us to learn more about our cultural cooperation. So there's great potential. I think I find that there's a great desire from both countries to know more about each other, to learn from each other. I think that is the most vibrant force for our friendship and cooperation.
The cultural season features film festivals, culinary collaborations, tea diplomacy, joint artistic showcases, strengthening bilateral ties while boosting Kenya's tourism economy, which contributes over 10% of the national GDP.
Arts and acrobatics is also part and parcel of tourism. It's entertainment. When our guests come, when we have such kind of entertainment, they really give us a very good opportunity. So I'm indeed very happy, and let us continue with such a kind of engagement.
Events planned throughout the year will spotlight sustainable tourism, cultural preservation, and creative industry growth. Ben Chumba, Legends Edition.
And on that acrobatic note, it's time for our first break. Stay with us, plenty more on the other side.
Je, umewahi kuwa na deni ya KRA? Basi usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC wamekuandalia roadshow murwa kabisa. Jiunge nasi tukufahamishe kuhusu KRA Tax Amnesty Program na jinsi utakavyoweza kusamehewa adhabu na riba na KRA. Pia tutakuwa tunakusaidia kujaza fomu za kodi za mwaka 2024 na kukusaidia na huduma za KRA kwa mtaa wako. Jumapili tarehe 8 mwezi Juni na Jumatatu tarehe 9 mwezi Juni tutakuwa na mobile clinic Kwale, Gate Mall Ukunda. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Tracy, ulifikisha doza trip?
Sijafikisha bado. Saving for retirement has been my biggest priority.
So when did trip? Nilikuambia jua kali kuna do. Mimi venye nimejipanga na hii biashara yangu, sione nikiwahi sote.
Trip bado tunaenda. Na by the way, do you save for retirement?
Kwani mimi ni mzee? I'm still young and I've got plenty of time to start saving later. Then again, si watu wa jua kali, hatunanga hizo ma pension plans.
Kwani ujui unaweza register with an individual pension plan yenye iko regulated na RBA?
Inawakaje?
Una deposit any amount of money at any time na uko guaranteed ukikuwa mzee. Maisha yako itakuwa nywe.
Badala na kushoni ni ukweli. Hadi mimi boost savings zangu kwa scheme yetu ya job.
Really?
Nilijua siwezi kuwa kijana forever. Sis, usikose kujipanga mapema. Tutakuwa wazee wa maana.
Ebu nionyesheni kuwa mzee wa maana.
Ensure you save and plan for your retirement during your youthful working days. Provided you are earning an income, you can join our retirement benefit scheme registered by Retirement Benefits Authority and safeguard your tomorrow. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
In a world where news is ever-changing, staying informed is more important than ever.
Join us every week on News Check, your go-to show for the latest in current affairs, breaking news and in-depth analysis.
A warm welcome to KBC News Check.
From politics to global events, we bring you content that matter to you.
We're not just speaking about the governance and how we want to see it, but want to actually participate.
Get your facts, hear from the experts, and really understand what is happening around you.
We need to change our system first.
You have to do the impossible to make sure the message is home.
Stay ahead, stay informed, stay engaged.
Will these people, everybody agree?
Just listen to me.
Let's give him a chance to clear the air.
Catch News Check every Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Only on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome back and thank you for keeping it Legends Edition. Benson Kyuki, an 11-year-old boy from Kariobangi Estate in Nairobi County, is in dire need of funds to undergo a bone marrow transplant in India after he was diagnosed with severe leukemia. His mother says she is unable to raise the 6.5 million shillings needed for the procedure and is appealing to well-wishers for assistance.
In July 2024, life took a different turn for Benson Kyuki, an 11-year-old boy from Kariobangi, Nairobi County, when he was diagnosed with blood cancer, which had at first been mistaken for anemia.
Alianza kuumwa na kichwa alikuwa anakunywa painkillers na haiishi, nikampeleka hospitali yenye iko karibu,
akaangaliwa. Hapo ndipo alipimwa kipimo ya kwanza yenye ilionekana damu yake ilikuwa chini zaidi, ilikuwa 0.2. Kwa hiyo hospitali nilienda dispensary, walikuwa wameniambia ni anemia, so wakanitransfer kwa hospitali kubwa, wakanitransfer Kiambu District Hospital.
His mother, Lilian Muthoni, a single mother and an orphan, says Benson started suffering from migraines and joint pains, forcing him to drop out of school.
After hapo kuna ile kipimo nilipimwa, mtoto alipimwa ya kurudia hasa kuonyeshana ni anemia ama ni ugonjwa gani. Hiyo kipimo ikapelekwa Aga Khan Hospital. After kupelekwa results kukuja, ndio ilionekana mtoto si anemia konayo, ni leukemia. Alikuwa na bleed na mapua, hata akiongezwa damu inatoka tu. So alikuwa anafunganishwa hapa acha kubleed, akifunganishwa akakuwa na complications zingine cause damu inarudi kwa mwili, sasa inafanya hata atapike hiyo damu. Cause inaona imefungwa yezi toka cause platelets zake zilikuwa low, damu iko low, neutrophils iko, kila kitu yake ilikuwa chini.
Although his severe leukemia condition has been stabilized following regular treatment, he now requires a bone marrow transplant to be undertaken in India for 6.5 million shillings.
Kuna ile kiwango ya damu walipima ikapelekwa Gertrude, hiyo ndio ilioneshana ugonjwa yake bado iko juu. So akaanziwa na dawa zinaitangwa high risk. Akakunywa hiyo dawa like a month plus 1 month 2 weeks. After kukunywa hiyo dawa ndio sasa alifanywa test ya kwanza ya bone marrow. Hiyo test ndio ilitoka ikaonyeshana mtoto ugonjwa wake iko percentage ya 17%. So hapo ikaonekana bado iko hali ya juu because daktari wanasemanga normal ni kuanzia 5 and below.
His mother, who stopped working to take care of him, says she has exhausted all her savings.
Kutravel na medication kila kitu inagharimu almost 6.5 million. Kwa Kenya popote mnanitazama, na waomba tafadhali muweze kunisaidia ili mtoto wangu apate matibabu yenye anafaa, ili maisha yangu pia mimi irudi ya kawaida, maisha ya mtoto wangu irudi ya kawaida.
Well-wishers can channel their contribution via M-Pesa paybill number 4151483, account Benson Kyuki. Kasi Chanamasha, Legends Edition.
The Kenya Revenue Authority KRA Tax Services Roadshow toured Mombasa County amidst calls by the taxman for eligible taxpayers to update their records by filing their returns. Hundreds of taxpayers in the county benefited from the free services of filing their returns by the Kenya Revenue Authority. With about 2 days remaining to the deadline, KRA has ruled out extending the deadline for filing returns. The sensitization campaign, organized by the taxman and the media partner, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, KBC, toured Mamangina Waterfront, Changamwe, Miritini, Chuda, Kongowea, Kisauni, and the Jomo Kenyatta Public Beach, with the campaign expected to conclude on Sunday.
So leo niko hapa Pirates Beach ama Jomo Kenyatta International Beach. So nimekam hapa ku have some fun, lakini pia nimekuwa surprise kwa KRA amefika hadi huku mtaa ya Pirates. Wametusaidia ku file returns. So normally this is I think my 6th time ku file returns. I normally file nil returns because I am unemployed. Lakini I'm so happy because this time round sitolipa chwani. Tuona nalipanga chwani kufailiwa.
I file my returns every year and I'm glad today watu wa KRA wamekuja hapa Pirates na wametufailia for free. I'm so grateful. Kufile return kwa cyber it's around 100 bob or sometimes 150 depending on where. But today I've done it for free.
Mara yangu ya kwanza kufile returns 0. Nimefurahi pia bila kuchajiwa, pia nimefurahi pia wamekaa bila rais sasa.
Police officers are calling on the government to scale up efforts to improve their welfare by enhancing security infrastructure. Speaking in Nairobi during the 19th anniversary of the cohort of multi-agency police officers recruited in the year 2006, the officers, led by Chairman Gregory Ogola, recognized the steps taken by the government in improving working conditions and lifting the morale of the police officers, citing improvement in remuneration. The officers also lit candles in remembrance of their colleagues who died in the line of duty over the last 19 years.
We were recruited when most of us were earning less than 10,000. And now where we are, we are doing good. And you see, even Rome was not built in a day. If the government continue with the pace that we are going at, and also officers are trained on management of funds, on management of the much they are getting. It's not little, because if you look at what the officers are getting and other cadres of government employees, we are better.
As a service, serving the nation is not an easy task. As much as there are challenges, we always endeavor and we encourage our officers so that at the end of the day, you and any other mwananchi should feel that they are secure.
Hafla hii huwa tunakuwa nayo kila mwaka na tuna celebrate with all our details from all the departments, JSU, Kenya Police na DCI, wale waliandikwa mwaka wa 2006.
The Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition is partnering with 5 counties to improve vegetables intake within the country to boost nutrition. Under the program's Last Mile vegetable vendors will be trained on creating awareness on the importance of vegetables consumption among their customers and food safety.
Vegetable consumption in Kenya currently stands between 100 and 150 grams per person daily, as opposed to the global recommended minimum consumption of 400 grams. To increase vegetable consumption in the country, the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition is targeting to train over 100,000 vendors on analytic and innovative techniques to ensure that their customers purchase vegetables.
We feel vegetable is very important because one, it will help us to tackle the triple burden of malnutrition. Within the urban and peri-urban areas, we have micronutrients deficiency, which is a form of malnutrition.
We teach them about communication, we teach them about marketing skills to continue marketing on their business skills. We teach them how to save on money and how to continue working every day to provide profit for them, and at the same time, teach them how to teach their customers on more about eating vegetables.
Vegetable vendors will also be trained on proper handling and cleaning of vegetables to improve food safety and minimize transmission of diseases through food.
They have also provided us with a lot of things like crates, the barrette also. We have the umbrellas that normally protect the direct sunshine to the vegetables.
Vegetable farmers have been advised to reduce chemical use in their production and focus more on organic production to further boost food safety.
We train farmers on regenerative agriculture and production and adherence to good agricultural practices.
Kuwa tunakuza mboga zenye ziko na manufaa kwa mili yetu bila kutumia madawa, bila kutumia fertilizer. Tunatumia tu vitu zenye zitafaidi mwanadamu wote.
The program Vegetables for All will target vendors in urban areas and regions where consumption of vegetables are still low. For Legends Edition, I am Teresa Mutai.
Vulnerable learners from Kilgoris in Transmara West Sub-County in Narok County have been dignified through distribution of sanitary towels, among other items, by a group of partners. These and other stories in our county's Roundup.
The learners from Kilgore's Project School received the donor organizations from Nairobi, whose representatives stressed on the need to uplift them holistically by supporting their formal education.
Let us support each other. The small that you have, the big that you have, wherever that you touch life, it will transform.
And in Kericho County, TVET Principal Secretary Esther Moria has urged principal and trainers of TVETs to adopt the new CBE curriculum, citing that the program's success depends on the leadership tasked with its implementation.
We have to train our young people well so that they are transformative, because as a government, we need to raise this country to the next level of development.
Elsewhere, the Kakamega Governor Ferdinand Barasa has lauded the High Court's ruling directing the National Assembly to release the frozen 10.5 billion shillings road maintenance levy fund to county governments. The funds are expected to be disbursed to counties by June 30th, 2025.
Let counties get their share so that the roads in the rural areas and urban areas can be maintained. Counties have a responsibility to maintain roads.
In Busia County, youth have undergone a one-day workshop to equip them with the skills to detect social media threats, reporting and online safety mechanisms.
We were able to come up with some of the advocacy strategies that we can use to prevent such threats.
In Trans Nzoia County, the Commission on Administrative Justice Corporate Director Dan Koromo says the agency is conducting a baseline survey across the 47 counties to determine their grievance redress and social safeguard mechanisms with the view of strengthening their structures.
It is an opportunity that accords the consumers and the service providers to get to know what are the issues that need to be addressed.
Elsewhere, the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, is facing an uncertain future as this is significantly impacting Kenya's export processing zone, EPZ, apparel and textile industry. However, Investment, Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary Lee Kinyanjui has confirmed that Kenya is actively seeking a free trade agreement with the United States to secure trade relation post-AGOA's extension.
Areas where government can help you to be able to achieve or to get partners who can come and take 10,000 acres, do cotton, come and start a button making factory or whatever else that you require. I think these are areas that we can be able to work.
Finally, in Embu County, the Millbrook International School, in conjunction with Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, held a civic education session for students aimed at enhancing their understanding of elections, governance and ethical leaderships.
We even went around educating our young leaders on how to vote, how to elect their leaders, so they are well prepared.
Aaron Marie, Legend Edition.
Kazi ya kupika, kuosha vyombo, na unaona ile nyumba ile nataka ingalishwe.
Lakini hii vita si between mimi na wewe.
Pale kwa gate nimeona notice.
Ukae bumper to bumper na fadhako.
Niko busy sahi mom, but we'll talk baadaye.
Ati Jabu,
you had some company or Alex is in?
No, actually your dad was around.
Mbona? Nini uniambi? First uniulize kuhusu dad na hii place. Ama bit dad anaweza kuwa.
You should say thanks to Alex for bringing back your phone from black markets.
Black market?
Could have given me a heads up, at least nikuwe ready. Sasa wana venye nakaa.
I think you're trying too hard to impress Pete.
You are fit, big, you have beards, and you know.
We don't know this girl at all.
Accident ilikuwa usiku nikitoka hiyo job.
Nikapata nao a major accident can affect spinal cord. This is a new thing utapata kuna some few things mlikuwa mnafanya pamoja but now you can't.
Anasema ndio ni msalaba yangu nilijingiza sitajitoa. Nasema tu ni baba ya watoto. You happy from the above of my heart is is true. Yeah, yeah, I want to know what makes it right.
Wana michezo, thank you and karibu to the Legends Sports offering this Saturday evening. We kick off with good news from the Diamond League in Rome, where courtesy of our golden girl, Beatrice Chebet, Topi Liambila. Double Olympic champion Chebet ran the second fastest time in 5,000-meter history, as she once again dominated and won the race at the Rome Diamond League meeting in Italy last night. It was also the best time ever run at the Golden Gala. Let's take a look.
Beatrice Chebet lowered her personal best time by slightly more than 2 seconds as she came close to breaking the world record on her way to the 5,000 meters victory at the Rome Diamond League meeting on Saturday night.
Only Segai has ever got under 14.05. She's now joined by Beatrice Chebet. An astonishing run.
Her time of 14 minutes 03.69 seconds was 24 seconds faster than her season best time and 16 seconds better than Hailu Freweni of Ethiopia, who was second in Rome.
The men just going through their final strides.
Timothy Cheruiyot was edged to the tape by Habs Azedine of France in the 1500 meters event. He was slower than his personal best by a second, but finished 4 places ahead of compatriot Reynold Cheruiyot and 6 places ahead of Brian Komen.
It's Chariot versus Habs. Who's going to get to the line? It's going to be Habs. Eases himself ahead. Has he got it? Yes, he has. Perfectly executed. 3:29.72.
Like at the Kipkeino Classic in Nairobi, Ferdinand Omanyala finished third in the 100 meters won by Bromel Trayvon of the United States, while Susan Ejore settled for 5th position in the 1500 meters.
Winning this one and destroying that field. And look at the time.
The next stop on the Diamond League series is Oslo Bislett in Norway on the 12th of June.
From rugby, the national women's rugby 15s team, the Kenya Lionesses, made a strong start to their Rugby World Cup qualifying campaign when they registered a commanding 28-5 victory over host country Madagascar in the Rugby Africa Women's Cup in Antananarivo. Phoebe Akinyi, Faith Livoi, Stella Wafula and Snyder Mokaya scored a try each, while Grace Okulu added 2 penalties as the Lionesses upset the home team in front of their fans. Mokaya also converted one of the tries to seal the win. Lionesses, who are coached by Dennis Mwanja, are twice runners-up in the tournament and dropped to 3rd position in the Rugby Africa Cup last year behind Madagascar. This time around, they are fired up in their determination to win the title, but they still have another tough test against the rivals, South Africa, in their second match scheduled for Wednesday next week. The Springbok women, who are the defending champions, overwhelmed Uganda with a 62-7 win in their opening match. The tournament features 4 of Africa's top women's rugby nations: Kenya, South Africa, Uganda and Madagascar. The winner will secure a direct slot in the 2029 Women's Rugby World Cup, while the runner-up will qualify for WXV3 tournament in Dubai.
That's over for the try.
National soccer team Harambe Stars played to a goalless draw against Chad in an international friendly match played this evening in Marrakesh, Morocco. The draw leaves Harambe Stars winless in 7 matches since they defeated Namibia 2-1 in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier in September last year. It leaves coach Benny McCarthy with an uphill task as the national team prepares for the African Nations Championship to be co-hosted by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. Since that win in September, Harambe Stars has lost 3 matches and drawn 4 times, with their heaviest defeat in October last year when they lost 4-1 to Cameroon. Harambe Stars will face Chad on Tuesday in another friendly. Has 4 FIFA World Cup qualifiers lined up later this year against the Gambia, Seychelles, Burundi and the Ivory Coast.
Onyango Alpha waiting on one side. And the shot coming flying and good save again by...
On the local front, the sensational Rebecca Mwangi was in top form when the Prisons Athletics Championships culminated at the Ulinzi Sports Complex to showcase an impressive performance in the 10,000 meters, which she won in 32 minutes 48.43 seconds. Rebecca hopes to be named in the Kenyan squad to this year's World Athletics Championships, while Olympian Lilian Odira also successfully defended a title in the women's 800-meter race. Meanwhile, the national trials will select the team for the Kenya to the World Athletics Championships will be held on the 1st and 2nd of August and not on the 26th and 28th of next month as initially programmed, according to Athletics Kenya. Frederick Mwoki has the report.
A nail-biting show was witnessed at the Ulinzi Sports Complex when the Kenya Prisons Championship culminated. Rebecca Mwangi showcased her energy, zeal and determination to win the 10,000 meters race in 32 minutes 48.43 seconds ahead of Sheila Jepkirui and Millicent Kemunto. Jepkirui clocked 33 minutes 58.11 seconds to finish second, while Kemunto timed 34 minutes 9.57 seconds to settle for the third position.
So far so good. Now sina hiyo time yenye inatakikana ndio na prepare niende races ndio nikuwe na hiyo time ya kwenda Tokyo.
Nilikonjeka kidogo lakini performance ya leo nasema nimekimbia vizuri. Nilikonjeka kidogo lakini sikuwa nimepona vile.
In the 800 meters race, national champion Lilian Odira cruised to victory in 2 minutes 8.59 seconds, while Jacinta Abese and Penina Wangari timed 2 minutes 10.09 seconds and 2 minutes 12.19 seconds to finish second and third respectively.
This race was just about defending my title. Last year I was the champion, so my main target was just to defend the title.
All eyes now shift attention to the Kenya Defence Forces Track and Field Championships before the upcoming national trials, which will be used to select Team Kenya to this year's World Athletics Championship. Frederick Mwoki for Legends Edition.
From the volleyball scene, Kenya Pipeline women's volleyball team has reclaimed the National League title after overcoming this year in a Game 2 of the best-of-3 final series in a 5-set thriller at the Kasarani. Meanwhile, Equity Bank's men's team claimed their maiden league title when they won the bronze medal. Let's take a look.
A thrilling and electrifying atmosphere was witnessed at Kasarani Indoor Arena during the Women National Volleyball League playoff finals. Kenya Pipeline were made to sweat for a win by a determined DCI, who were chasing their first title before they eventually lost the match by 3 sets to 2 of 21-25, 25-21, 18-25, 25-21 and 15-11. The former champions sealed the win after yesterday's straight sets victory. Meanwhile, Equity Bank's men's volleyball team clinched their maiden Kenya Volleyball National League medal when they won the bronze during the third playoff at Kasarani, as KCB also finished third in the Women's League. Former Women's League champions KCB at least managed to collect the bronze when they also came from a sit-down to beat Kenya Prisons. Frederick Mwoki for Legends Edition.
From basketball, former Kenya Women's Basketball Premier League champions KPA continued their quest to reclaim the title with an 85-44 defeat of Safe Safes in today's matches at the Nyayo National Stadium. In another match, Dream Girls basketball team showed an impressive performance in their Division 1 second leg match that was played today also at the Nyayo National Stadium to narrowly beat Strathmore Swords 49-45. Don Bosco claimed a 66-51 points victory over Kitui Raptors in one of the men's matches, while Hope's team registered a win after beating Little Prince by 59-50 points. Action resumes tomorrow with several matches lined up at the Nyayo National Stadium. Lindsay men's handball team finished 4th in the 2024-2025 Kenya Handball Federation Men's League after securing 36-29 win over Black Mamba in their final match that was played today at the Nyayo National Stadium. Equity men, on the other hand, outshone GSU to win 32-22 in the remaining match. The league closed today with National Cereals and Produce Board men having successfully retained their title after finishing the season unbeaten with 50 points. Equity finished in second position with 48 points, while GSU finished third on 46 points. The ladies' title was won by Ulinzi Sharks, who finished top with 28 points, while former champions Nairobi Water and Firehawks finished second and third with 26 and 22 points, respectively. Meanwhile, the top 12 men's teams out of the 26 who participate in the concluded league will play in the Men's Premier League next season, while the remainder will form the National League. Some of the action from the courts.
"19 nations will compete in the Total Energies CAF African Nations Championship, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania 2024, which will be staged from 2nd to 30th August 2025. Amongst the 4 groups in the tournament A to D, Kenya is pooled in Group A, together with Morocco, Angola, DR Congo and Zambia.
Algeria from the set piece, the header is on target, but it's...
This unique competition featuring the best locally based players from across the continent definitely has something for everyone. Just bring your A game as you let it flow live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Welcome back. The FKF Nairobi West branch has partnered with Luton Hospital in a year-long deal to provide comprehensive medical services to the clubs participating in the Nairobi West Regional League. The FKF president, Hussein Mohammed, who was the chief guest during the graduation ceremony of the first cohort of 48 first aiders, hailed the move as a big achievement in the growth of the game in the country. Luton Hospital will train all regional league first aiders, including 32 from the men's and 16 for women's regional league teams, and provide them with fully equipped first aid kits and ambulances with qualified paramedics for select Nairobi West League activities. It will also provide ND awards for both men and women's regional leagues in various categories, which include the best player, top scorer, best keeper, best young player and best coach. Let's take a listen.
This is one of its kind and is setting the right precedence for the rest of the sports industry to sort of learn from. So first I want to thank Luton Hospital for their magnanimous sponsorship and offer to the FKF Nairobi branch and Nairobi West branch, and this will go a long way in preparing also the national office for future partnerships.
We've started with a one-year partnership, and of course there are options calls for maybe renewing it. The sponsorship basically covers 4 major areas which we highlighted. Number one, all teams are playing in the regional teams have their first aiders trained and certified. Number two, Luton Awards at the end of the season for best performing players in the regional league.
We want our sports people to be happy. We want our sports people to be healthy. So that is the motivation that we had when we reached out to our branch, because it's our local branch, to provide services, to provide training, and to help them in terms of capacity in case there's an issue.
And now the CHAN countdown. The focus will be on the 3 East African nations when the delayed Africa Nations Championship CHAN kicks off from the 2nd to the 30th of August this year. Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania have been bestowed upon the honors of being the host countries of the tournament, in the process raising the hopes of football fans in their respective countries of lifting the championship or leaving a mark in the 12-team tournament. With less than 50 days to the championship, we profile the 4 groups that make up the championship, and tonight our spotlight is on Group A, which has co-host country Kenya, Zambia, Morocco, Angola and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Let's take a look and listen.
Kenya has a magical chance to impress on its debut before the home fans. Playing at home comes with the pressure of fulfilling the fans' dreams. But how will Harambe Stars fare in Group A? Stars' hopes are pegged on the recently appointed head coach Benny McCarthy, known for his calm demeanor and ability to get the best from his players. A determined squad and an effervescent loyal home crowd will certainly have a role to play in Kenya's performance beginning August. Whereas Harambe Stars is making its debut, group rivals Morocco will be targeting their 3rd title, having won it in 2018 and 2020. Another contender for the championship is Democratic Republic of Congo, who are also eyeing their 3rd crown after triumphs during the 2009 and 2016 editions. Angola, who reached the finals in 2011 but lost to Tunisia, is also another side to watch out for in Group A. The Palancas Negras will be out to go one better this time around, backed by the tactful head coach Pedro Goncalves. Zambia, perennial contenders, will be rolling the dice as they also gun for their maiden title. They reached the semi-finals during the inaugural edition, and their hopes of emulating their 2009 performance and progression in the competition will be determined by how they navigate the group phase. Home advantage expected to play a big role in Kenya's push in the tournament. Harambe Stars will definitely be one of the teams expected to put up a solid campaign at the 2024 African Nations Championship. Bernard Okumu, Legends Edition.
From the French Open, world number 2 Coco Gauff came from a set down to beat world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka and lift her first ever French Open singles title. It was the 2nd Grand Slam title for the American, who won the US Open title back in 2023 when she beat the same opponent Sabalenka in the final.
Sure she is.
Coco Gauff won her first French Open title by beating the best tennis player in the world in a final played in testing conditions at Roland Garros. American second seed Gauff claimed a 6-7, 6-2, 6-4 victory over Aryna Sabalenka after a tense battle.
We see the best of her at this tournament year after year. And this time, she is better than everyone.
A nice hug from Aryna.
Gauff, who lost in the 2022 final, pockets a prize money of 2.5 million euros.
From the motor racing scene, Sebastian Ogier retained his grip on the Rally Italia Sardegna, with one eye on redemption as the searing event continued to dish out punishment on Saturday. In second position going into Sunday is Ot Tanak, while Kale Rovanpera sits in third position.
Last year, Sebastian Ogier saw a near-certain victory ripped away by a final stage puncture that handed Tanak the win by just 0.2 seconds, the joint closest finish in FIA World Rally Championship history. This time, he takes an 11.1 seconds advantage over the Hyundai driver into Sunday's four-stage finale, which totaled 77.78 competitive kilometers. What began for Ogier as a 2.1 seconds buffer over Ogier for more turned into an 11.1 seconds lead over Tanak by day's end after another punishing loop of rocky roads. Ogier was consistently on the pace across Saturday's sun-scorched 6 stages, winning 3 in his Toyota GR Yaris Rally 1 and maintaining a strong rhythm despite a moment of frustration on SS8. Behind him, Tanak mounted a fight back of his own. The Estonian dropped time with a slow puncture on SS9, but responded with stage wins on both passes of Leno Su Feligosu in his Hyundai i20N Rally 1. Behind the top two, Kale Rovanpera quietly worked his way into third overall. The two-time world champion had started the day fifth but climbed steadily as others faltered, capitalizing on issues for both Fumo and Toyota teammate Sami Payari.
And with that motor rallying segment, it's a wrap on the sports edition this Saturday evening on The Legends. Hope that you stay tuned with KBC Channel 1 for more sporting action throughout the week and up to next Saturday when we meet again. I'm Topi Liambila signing off and offering over to Edmund Mudibo to lock up.
Thank you very much, Topi. Well, that does it for this evening. Our sign language interpreter has been Lucy Maura and a great team that have made this bulletin very possible. We thank you for the privilege of your time. My name is Edmund Mudibo. Stay well, stay safe. God bless.
She is a mentor, she is a founder, and she is a beacon of hope for very many women.
I was encouraged to achieve from a very early stage because I was one of the clever students, so I opted to go for the accounting option. But I feel bad, honestly I do, when a student is not given an opportunity to become, because it is education that has made the difference that I have today. I'm more of a person who is driven by the agenda and not the gender.
And I just want to celebrate you on national TV. Coincidentally, today is her birthday, and I have a surprise for you, ma'am.
Happy birthday to you.
Naishi natumaini, ewe malaika nakupenda. Hit me with one more and one more led to another. Now it's goodbye, Indian lady. Sweet Signore, do you remember me?
wakajiwambe tui wakajiwamba no yakonu kumakelela mune twisto kwikonu kwatwatu kuri kwimba kundemba mutumbu kudibana basheta mayenga bani namu basheta makwabu kachoka dasekile eyi wakwetu mimbekene eyi wakwetu nyimbe balunga bakwenda bayenga nabo isambo kotu yaya batangila kwetu kumaya mukamba
okolo bakosala liste bato bakemba na mokili DJ Solid soki komona ngeza te na kupasola liste wana Set and Play Iloham Akiselam Ohana. Jésus nous a libérés de la prison des Messeniens. Nous sommes sauvés, nommé allure, il souffle mal. Mireille Makenda, la fille du roi. Johnson Keto, le vieux Mbembe, Tottenham Boy.
Aïe, toi, ouais, Set and Play, ouais, toi, ouais. Aïe, ouais, toi, ouais, Junior Mili, ouais, toi, ouais.
Mavinga.
Aïe, ouais, toi, ouais, Martin Lukusa, ouais, toi, ouais.
Auto Weekend.
Hey, fous-moi tout, Fatih Beto.
Café Etienne Chimanga. Chez Sap, tu peux y la guerre. Sénateur à vie. Si vous Bimisa Bitumba. Maître Jim.
Est-ce que yo sabi n'importe Patrick Moubiala, Maître Chris Cicero Bakumba, Ofaya.
Somme 35. DJ Annonce, Gauthier Mascotte. Minence de Londres. Abitombala, le roi des Amunda. Blanchard Moussaka. Boss Yibou, les millionnaires. Aïcha Okoko. Dodon Swadi. Jonathan Senani. M. Caponoir Bakisila. Rebecca Toto la Diamant. Pichou Aguata. Kevin Brass. Le fond. Freddy Mingili. Soleil Diata. La lumière du ciel. Stony Lumba. Zino, ça fait la double nationalité. Yannick Guinia, en boxe. Mongolani Wanambai, Oya Oyate,